Last but not least on our tour of the AFC South will be the Houston Texans. Now, you say the Houston Texans? Of course, there's fantasy value on the Houston Texans. Let's get into it. Hey, yo! Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for the Houston Texans team preview we have right here. Now, just because it's the Houston Texans doesn't mean there's fantasy football value on this team. They have turned around, and there's some bright spots growing from this team. All right, Davis Mills has stepped up. We're going to get into some other guys. You already see our number one choice in the background in Brandon Cooks. But before I deep dive into this team, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessengerSD. Don't forget about the TikTok at chef_D91. And don't forget about the Patreon if you want more DFS, betting, and fantasy football help. All of those links will be provided down below. First up on the Houston Texans will be Brandon Cooks. He should be no surprise to you guys as the number one option on this offense. Hopefully someone else emerges, but Brandon Cooks right now is going to be that number one guy we're going to target in fantasy football drafts. Current ADP is 51.2, was wide receiver 20 last year in 2021, and that's with Davis Mills throwing him the football. Can Davis Mills take it to the next level? Sure, why not? We will see. But Brandon Cooks has been the model of consistency all his entire career. As long as he stayed healthy, we've seen top 20 performances while he's with the LA Rams, and now with the Houston Texans, back-to-back years with top 20 performances, averaging 14.5 fantasy points per game and 15.5 fantasy points per game in the last two seasons. So this is a very safe pick here in Brandon Cooks. Some of the metrics when we look at his routes, across the board are top 20. Okay, his total routes win, his route win rate, his routes versus man, his win rate versus man, target rate versus man, and target separation across the board is top 20. So this should be a very safe play to get in that round 4 or 5 range, and you can get lucky and get him in the 6th round. That will be a gem. Go get Brandon Cooks this year. Number 2 on our list is going to be another wide receiver on the Houston Texans, and that is Nico Collins. All right, their rookie draft pick in 2021, round 3, pick 25, is going currently as ADP 151. This is a deep sleeper for you guys to get well past round 10, someone that can have some big upside this season. All right, Nico Collins has emerged in camp and has been a bright spot. All right, according to reports, we're seeing Nico Collins has been making plays and is a mismatch in training camp. Davis Mills has praised his receivers, saying, "I don't think there's many people out there who can stop him." Coach Lovie Smith spoke on a play in which the corner had perfect coverage, but Collins still came down with the grab. He has also said, "We expect him to make plays like that on a consistent basis." All right, he is becoming someone to look out for on this team. Hopefully he can emerge as the number 1-2 receiver and compete with Brandon Cooks. Maybe Nico Collins can become an alpha. He has the side and speed combination at the 6'4" with 4.5 speed. And what we're looking at on the training camp tape, he is looking outstanding alongside of Brandon Cooks. This is why I like Davis Mills this year. He has a consistent veteran in Brandon Cooks, and Nico Collins is coming out, and hopefully he can emerge as an alpha or emerge as a solid beta on this team, all right, and really build around Davis Mills, who came out of nowhere, and hopefully he can have a big jump in year 2. So go get Nico Collins, especially at his current ADP. Next up on our list, we have running back Dameon Pierce, who they drafted this year in round 4 at pick number 2 overall. Current ADP is 119th. So this is another deep sleeper past round 10. Someone you can key on that has some upside to become the number 1 starter for the Houston Texans. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, the Jets went and grabbed the guy that the Houston Texans wanted at that number 1 pick in the 2nd round in Breece Hall. This was a running back that the Houston Texans were gearing up. The Jets traded ahead of the Houston Texans to get Breece Hall. So Texans were unfortunately sniped, and they had to wait, and they went and got Dameon Pierce. as a not as a project. He has the ability to become the number one running back on this team. Currently in camp, he's looking like the best running back already, according to ESPN's DJ BN AIM. Okay, so reports looking fantastic. Training camp is looking fantastic. He's looking very explosive in training camp right now. And if we look at his competition, we're looking at Marlon Mack, who had some great upside, obviously, but got injured, and Jonathan Taylor usurped him. And now this is a person coming off a torn Achilles. What do you expect, Marlon Mack? All right, this is an older back here that has an injury history. Rex Burkhead has been around the NFL for years. He's not explosive anymore. Dameon Pierce is primed to take over that number one spot. It's only probably going to take a couple preseason games. Just watch the preseason games, see what happens. Right now, of course, the depth chart is going to say Rex Burkhead and Marlon Mack because they are the veterans. Pierce has to prove it. Hopefully, we get to see that in the next coming weeks. And by the time you draft, Dameon Pierce most likely will be moving up draft board. So definitely go get him now, especially in Underdog. And especially if you're doing fantasy football drafts right now. So I love Dameon Pierce this season. Last but not least, for the Houston Texans, we have Davis Mills. I've been talking him up all video long. We finally get to the man, the myth, the legend in Davis Mills. Finished QB 29 in 2021, current ADP 205. All right, this QB is literally free, absolutely free in your drafts. In 2 QB leagues, this is a deep sleeper. Definitely someone you can target if you go, top echelon, top 5 quarterback as your number one quarterback. And if you just wait on your second QB, you can definitely snag Davis Mills because there is potential here. All right, 3rd round pick in 2021. No one expected this guy to step up like he did. He surprised some people last year in 2021. Let's look at the game log. Okay, as you can see, he struggled between weeks 2 through 8, but there were some bright spots. If we look at that New England week, he had 24.7 fantasy points, 3 touchdowns that game. If we look at week 8 against the Los Angeles Rams, 21.4, finished number 9 QB in fantasy points that week as well. If we look at that stretch run from week 13, if we look at the stretch from week 14 all the way to week 18, he averaged 17 fantasy points per game. Okay, that's a top 15 finish right there. All right, so the potential is there. As you can see, Davis Mills got into a little bit of a groove. All right, you saw the struggles earlier in the year. They benched him. He came back and he finished the season strong. It looks like he learned from his mistakes and he was turning into someone that can be a more reliable quarterback in this NFL and probably the number one quarterback for the Houston Texans. We don't have to have them in the draft searching for another QB. Hopefully Davis Mills can be that guy. And I definitely like him as a second QB option in Superflex leagues or 2 QB leagues. Definitely someone you can consider, and especially on Underdog, he's going free. If you want to put him as your second QB or third quarterback in your lineups, definitely someone that is super, super sneaky, has some upside here with Brandon Cooks and Nico Collins, who looks like he's going to emerge. Dameon Pierce, hopefully he becomes the number one running back, and they build a nice core around Davis Mills. All right, so definitely go get him this year. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessengerJustD, and I'll be back with another video very soon. All right, peace out, guys.